What's up? We're back after a week, fresh and refreshed with the vlog, or us mystery vlog. I'm Alex.
I'm Kellz.
How are you doing, America, the world, everyone? How are we all doing? How are you doing, Jimmy? Doing pretty good over there?
I'm doing great.
Yeah, that's great to hear. I love that. I love to hear that.
You're in a state.
I'm just ready to go. I took some Tylenol earlier, so I'm trying to get past how weird I feel. It's fine. I don't know. So this is vlog 6. We took a break obviously last week just because I kind of fell behind in playing because I got so busy. So I wanted to be able to like play through the game and like talk from a place of experience. So we're back, we're here, we're back on track. And the mysteries are things that I've discovered rather than things that I've pieced together by looking at the notes now, which is pretty good. So
fun stuff.
We start going out of Mauville City to Route 117.
Right.
Totally optional to do this, but Route 117 is route with the daycare.
But you should. This is a fun part. This is like a cool little bit.
Yeah. The daycare in this game is a lot more like optimized for being a daycare thing. Not that it wasn't optimized in X and Y, because like I loved the big like straight line. Mm-hmm. But this you could like go in a circle. You can
go in a circle, and then they even like put like a little path right through it, the middle, in case you do want to go back and forth in a straight line. It's not as long as X and Y's, but like it still gives you the option. Yeah,
and there's all kinds of breeders and stuff there. It's a pretty cool little zone. It's very like nesty, and I really think that the daycare itself looks very beautiful. Like when you look at like what's beyond the gate, there's like waterfalls and glades.
I would love to leave my Pokemon there.
Yeah, as opposed to like a small like featureless farm.
With a tiny pond.
Yeah. That's where you hatch eggs in Oros. It's a cool place, and you can do it from there. Like, now you can breed. Hey. Great. Walk west from there, and you get to an optional town called Verdant Town, which doesn't really have anything in it of super importance, but it's like a nice...
Kinda, though.
Yeah, but it's got like a nice little quaint vibe to it. Yeah.
Turf.
There's no volcanic ash there, even though it's pretty close to the mountain because of the wind, which is really cool. And verdant turf, it's like verdant turf, like green grass. Pretty cool. In this town, that's where Wally's family lives. Wally's aunt is there.
Yes. Well, his family lives in the other city, but his aunt and uncle live there.
Wally's aunt and uncle live there.
And that's where he's been staying with them while he's been dealing with his illness.
Yeah, and their daughter is the girlfriend of the guy on the other side of Rust Turf Tunnel who's been trying to get through. So you can go like do that now, and
Which is kind of cool. I never like really realized like, oh, they're cousins.
Yeah.
Like it just it's really cool to like see like relationships in the Pokemon world. They're not just like we are NPCs.
Yeah, it's great. It's like a little story. You do it, they are like yay, and then you get Agronite from that, which is cool.
Which is worth going to Verdant Turf for.
Mega Aggron is one of the most underrated megas in my opinion.
You think so?
He looks cool. He is cool.
I think he's totally awesome. He rocks it.
Yeah, he really is really good. You go back in Verdant Turf. There's this girl who's like, "Where's my Shroomish? I left it by the sign."
He steals the show.
Aggron.
Yes.
Ugh.
Sorry. Ugh.
So yeah. It's a bad joke. So this girl's like, "Where's my Shroomish? I left it by the sign." And then you just go to the sign. The Shroomish is like, "I'm here. You got me." And then you go back to the girl, and she's like, "Here's my intriguing stone." And then since you can go through Rust Turf Tunnel now, you can go right back to Slateport, right? Or
Rustboro.
Yeah, Rust Turf, obviously. And Mr. Stone's like, "This isn't an intriguing stone. This is Pidgeot type." So now that's the first. Oh. I think that might be the first new Mega Stone that you get. Mm-hmm. For Mega Pidgeot, but you can't use it yet. I don't think, because I don't even know if Pidgey's available in the game natively
at this point. But you could just like transfer one over and get it.
Yeah, but like get the Pidgeot type because Pidgeot is tight.
That was a bad joke.
Yeah,
you are bad at jokes.
Yeah, dude. But we high-fived on that one. Also in the Poké Center, there's a weird dude that we'll talk about later. So. Go back through Mauville after you're done with that little side quest area. Go north to Route 111. Oh, also, at some point in there, you can get the black glasses.
Oh, yeah. In Rust Turf Tunnel.
Yeah, with these guys.
Dowsing machine.
Yeah. Go to Route 111. You go north. There's the Winstraight family, which is a clever name for a family that you have to beat all in a row. You have to win straight in a row.
Not to mention, their names are Victor, Victoria, Vivi, and like, what's the last one? Victory?
Victitia. I don't know.
Victitia?
I don't know. But hopefully we blew your minds with that awful pun. And Jimmy like slapped his forehead in the background. And you beat them all. You get the Macho Brace, the original like training item. Pretty like not useful anymore. But it is the Macho Brace. You want to get it because it's the Macho Brace. And yeah, that's really all there is on that route. You go north, and there's like you're like, oh, can't go through here. There's a sandstorm right now. So you got to go around through Route 112, and your rival, or not your rival, but your opposite.
Your cohort.
Yeah, May, Brendan,
Your buddy.
person. For me, it's obviously May, and for you, it's obviously
Brendan.
They give you strength, even though you can't use it right now out of battle. You have to get the next badge first, but you get it. And on Route 112, you're like, great, there's a cable car up to Mount Chimney, so I can just take that and go. But then there's like the team guys, and they're like, get out of here. What are you doing?
We're about to do something, and something's gonna go down on the top of this mountain.
Get out of here.
We're gonna get you.
Get out. We're gonna hurt you.
Shoot.
So you leave. So you can't get in there yet. So you got to go around like through Fiery Path, but you can't even go to most of Fiery Path right now. I don't think.
Because you can't use strength.
Because you can't use strength. So you just got to kind of like run through. But there's some cool Pokemon inside of there. There's like
Torkoal, Numel.
Grimer's in there.
Grimer.
Coughing's in there.
Coughing.
Yeah, there's a bunch of cool Pokemon there. And Grimer and Coughing are both in there, but one is like super rare in one game and one is like super rare in the other game.
So it's like
good
almost
luck.
exclusives, but not like totally.
Yeah. And so that's like a quick thing though. That's like, if you want, you could like run through there, maybe get into like one battle and you're out. You come out on the other side of Route 112, which doesn't really have anything on it.
There's a lady that you can like rest your Pokemon at her center.
Is that in Route 1? I think that's in Route 111.
No, it's above the desert.
Right, but Route 112 is here.
Is the dusty, the ash land?
No, that's Route 113.
I don't know.
You go out of Route, and it's like a small thing, and then you go through, and I think Route 111
I see.
also has the old woman on it.
I see. Yes, you're right.
But that's where you meet Arune. And he's the guy who teaches you finally about secret bases, which were a cool thing back in the day, but they are like
doubly cool.
Way cooler now.
Because it's just like the integrated Street Pass features.
You can Street Pass secret bases with whoever. So that's the first thing. And then when you do that, you can see them on your area nav, at least what route they're on. And so if you know where the little secret bases are on that route, you can like look and find everybody's secret base. So there's not like a huge mystery to it anymore. It's like there's like a fun hunt aspect to it that's a lot more manageable, which is like really cool.
And you can set up like ways to battle in your secret base, and like the decoration like looks better just because it's in 3D now.
Yeah, and if you want to like really share it, you could share your QR code. I haven't really made like a secret base that I'm like happy with yet. I'm like, I ran through Omega Ruby and I just like didn't do any of the side quests. So now I'm like taking my time with Alpha Sapphire, and that's helping me do this. And so by the time I'm done, if you guys still care about Pokemon, I'll put out my QR code for my base. But I just haven't had time to work on it yet.
My secret base, I just loaded it up with cute plushies and cute things.
Yeah.
Cute plushies and posters.
The thing that people do in secret bases with these QR codes is, if you can find one, and you can probably find this with a quick Google search, is they make Blissey bases, because Blissies give a buttload of XP. And so you find one of these things, and then you like power level your dudes with like a bunch of Blissies in these secret bases, and that's just like the way it's done.
It's an awesome like fan created way to like easily level up, and I think that's like super cool.
Yeah.
The creators are probably like, yes, way to go, community, you did it.
I wonder if they like thought of it, and they were like, this is gonna be the best thing about this.
I don't know.
I bet you they
I feel like this is like something that like the fans like figured out and like just like made it an integral part of training in a Pokemon game.
Yeah, so secret bases are really, really fun in this game. You guys should share them with each other on Twitter. If you want to like tweet us them, we'll tweet them out, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's that. Then you head west from there to Route 113, which is the Sooty route, and then you go to the Glass Workshop.
I love that one.
Yeah, it's a fun little game. So you go through there and you go to the Glass. It's sooty. It's like ashy from the volcanic ash from Mount Chimney. So you go into the Glass Workshop. The guy's like, have this bag, figure this out. And so then you run around through all these piles of ash and soot, and like a bunch of different things can happen. You can get like a bunch of soot. You can get like a tiny bit of soot. You can find like items, and it's cool. And the more like the different amounts of soot that you collect in the bag, you can get like flutes that like do all kinds of different things. So like
my favorite is the blue flute, which just like wakes your Pokemon up anytime, no berries.
Yeah, it's like it's free wake ups. There's free no confusion. There's another one, I can't remember what it is. And then there's like white flute and black flute, and the white flute like makes you get weak Pokemon, and the black flute makes you get strong Pokemon. like on the route that you're on.
So it's pretty exciting.
And then there's I think there's like a chair and a desk for your base that's like pretty hard to get. So it's like
I like this route because it's got Skarmory and it's got Spinda, and it's just like one of the quintessential routes of the Hoenn region, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's so memorable.
Yeah, because I like the fact that there's like stuff going on the routes, like weather and like in this case soot is like really cool.
Yeah.
I just like that.
I agree.
But then so that happens. You go west and you're in Fallarbor Town, which is pretty much where we're gonna stop. But before we do, you meet May and Brendan again, and they're like, "Come here, hurry! We gotta go to the lab." There's another Pokemon professor, or he's just a professor, probably.
Yeah, he's just a professor.
Professor Cosmo, and he's like studying a meteorite or a meteor, and the team, whatever team is in your game, has kidnapped him and taken him to Mount Chimney. Dun, dun, dun. So you got to go get him. But before you do that, before you leave, go to the Pokemon Center. That's where you meet Lynette, who says like, "Come chill at my house." But she also is like the PC maker of this region. Which like, what's the deal? Like, how come it's not just one dude who invented PCs?
Well, it's Bill who invented the PC, but I feel like in each region, like somebody like took over that research and like
that's just
specialized it for the Pokemon that appear in that region. Maybe
it's just weird that they're named after. Like, it just doesn't make.
Yeah, like Bill's PC, Lynette's PC.
Yeah.
What's the other ones?
I could not tell you. It's impossible. Like, I only think of it as Lynette's now because that's the name I see.
I only see it as Bill's ever.
Yeah, I remember Bill because it's Bill, but like, and he talks like this in the anime, and I can't ever forget it. But he does. And also you get the berry blender from the contest hall in Fallarbor.
Which is a fun one.
That's where you make. That's how you make Pokeblocks to like boost your contest stats, which is really useful. And that's cool. Like, the cool thing about contests is that like it's a neat idea, and then it's like, do it and you're done. And does it like stack?
It's like EV training.
Like, what I'm saying is like, if you do all the contests in one contest hall, are you done? Or is it like, I gotta do this in every town?
I think you can just do it in one hall. The whole thing in one hall.
Yeah?
I'm pretty sure.
Jimmy says no.
I don't have the guide.
Jimmy says no. Is it every town?
There's like 4 contest halls, isn't there? And they get progressively harder.
Oh, is that
No,
real?
because you can do like really super contests.
You can go from
in the...
Yeah, it's like level to level. Maybe they changed it because that's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, then the final thing in that town is the Move Maniac is in that town. So if you get heart scales, which you can find like using dowsing, and there's a couple other ways to get them, like with Pokemiles and stuff, you can use your heart scales just like in every game to reteach your Pokemon moves that they forgot, or moves that are like only teachable through heart scales.
Right.
Certain Pokemon evolve and they have like some really cool moves that like they never actually get, but that are in their learn set, which is really cool. But that's it for our walkthrough. Next time we're going to go through the fourth gym. But now let's take a break and we're going to come back with a mystery.
Welcome back, ladies and gents. It is time now to get into our mystery segment of the day. And this one's pretty weird.
Yeah, this one's
a pretty
neat.
weird one. It's like a very small detail in the Pokemon game, but sometimes the smallest details are the most.
Those are the ones that become memes later, so you're gonna see it here first. Maybe this already is a meme. I didn't look into it. I wanted to talk about it without knowing.
I hadn't heard about it before you told me.
Yeah,
about
me neither.
this
Me neither.
guy.
So in Verdanturf Town, you go into the Pokemon Center, and there's a dude who's wearing like ceremonial robes. They're like very like old-timey clothes. They look like old-timey Japanese clothes, obviously because it's Japan. But like, he's wearing like robes, and he's like got his back to you, and he's like over by the by the map in every Pokemon Center. And you go and you talk to him, and he's like, like this town used to have a contest hall in it back when I was alive and kicking.
Alive is the key word there.
It's just weird. Like, it's weird that he says back when I was alive and kicking, and like, on the one hand, you could read this to mean like
it could be just like a translation, localization.
I doubt that would be the case because of how good the localization is.
Yeah.
But like, what I'm saying is, you could read it as him being like, back when I was a young kid, like there was a thing. But why would he say alive and kicking? Alive and kicking means alive and kicking. Like, when you say that, you mean alive.
Yeah. You would like say that in reference to somebody who has passed.
Yeah.
Like when my grandpa was alive and kicking.
Yeah.
Like he went all over the town.
Alive and kicking means not dead.
Yeah.
As opposed to like young.
So why does this guy? Is he dead?
Yeah. Is he dead? I don't know. It creeps me out. Like, a lot of creepypasta
Pokemon seems
stuff.
to do that a lot. Pokemon seems to like have this weird relationship with people that are alive versus not alive, and like maybe ghosts. And
Yeah, like what's the deal with that? Like
it never seems to be like some creepy. It doesn't feel like they're trying to be creepy. It feels like they're trying to like establish like, hey, maybe we never really leave this world.
Yeah, it's in Pokemon it just seems like ghosts are real because like you look at stuff like Yamask, you look at stuff like
that girl in Lumiose.
yeah, exactly, stuff where it's like there is something that happens in the world of Pokemon where there's spirits and where there's ghosts, and I don't know what makes it so that you become a Pokemon. Maybe that's like some sort of like Buddhist or like I don't know. Does Shinto have reincarnation in it?
I couldn't.
I don't know. I'm too ignorant to Shinto. I wish I knew more about it because it seems like a very interesting, spirituality thing. But like maybe it's like something about reincarnation, like where that's kind of like second nature to a lot of Eastern cultures, where I'm like not thinking about the afterlife in that way, and so maybe like of course like people come back as Pokemon just like they come back as animals is like a thing. But I don't know. I don't know. And the fact that there's like a dude who's a ghost, maybe, and there's other dudes that are ghosts. Like we'll talk about some other like creepy ass stuff that is in this game that I noticed as I played through it. But we'll get there later. But it's just like what the heck? Like how come there's a dude in this Pokemon Center who says he's dead?
I couldn't tell you.
Like what do you suppose? Like what do you suppose could be a reason for it? Is it like here's another thing. This is like the moving truck thing. Like I want to know, like people who are living in Japan who maybe speak English and watch this, or even if you don't speak English and somehow you're still watching this, like weigh in the comment section. We read all the comments for this because we have to find the Q&A questions anyway. Let us know about like because like okay, in the United States, and this is really the only place that I can speak of. Like I could maybe take a guess about some place like England where I'm like pretty like familiar with the culture or something like that. But in the United States, ghosts are very much like a, ooh, spooky, or like the subject of a horror movie. And in Japan, I just want to like know what the deal is with ghosts. Are they like kind of like they're not bad?
I think they can be benevolent and they can be evil, and they can also be just
like
totally
the more I learn about
sometimes prankstery
the more I learn about like all the spirits and stuff that are in Japanese mythology, I kind of like have like a kind of an idea of what the spirit world is like to them, with those different like ancient mythological cultures. But I just want to know. So tell me what you think about this dead man in Verdant Turf. Let us know if there's a creepypasta about it that you can write in the comments, and let me know about what it feels like to think about ghosts in Japan. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
Anything else you want to say about this, Mister, before we go?
I just think, nothing beyond the fact that like I am really fascinated by the afterlife, the focus of the afterlife that seems to be like so like in the Pokemon world,
Right.
just like kind of like under the surface,
Just like real, just like real as hell.
totally real. Yeah.
Very scary.
Not even scary.
Just like very, very big thing to just
I started thinking about it when we did our Dusknoir episode. I was just like, yeah, this is just kind of like
they kind of just have an
About the
afterlife
Pokemon
that's
world.
real. Yeah, it's weird.
a physical afterlife.
Yeah. But anyway, that's this week's mystery. We'll be right back after the break with Q&A. See you in a minute. And we are back with some questions from y'alls. If you want to have your question answered for next week, leave it in the comment section below. We always read the first real question that we find, and that one is this one. This one is from Line May. Question: how will, if at all, the new Nintendo Ambassador Program affect the decks? So if you don't know what this is, there's sort of like a big scandal. It's kind of a controversy, I don't know, about Nintendo kind of like taking ownership of some of the like
They've opened up like a program, almost like a content creator program.
Yeah, it's almost like signing with a network, but like there's been some like you should do research into this, and I will do more research into this too, just to make sure. But there's like sort of stuff like where you sign up with them. There's a list of approved games that you could do coverage on. If you already have a channel that you're going to sign up for, you have to delete a bunch of your videos if they don't have if they have content from games that aren't on the list, stuff like that. And it seems really weird and kind of scary. But I think that...
Well, it was clearly their response to, like, people making YouTube videos and YouTube channels based on their franchise, because, you know, after all, it is their franchise.
Right.
But the thing about it is that it doesn't seem as very well informed as it could be. I mean, it was clearly made by people that were, like, trying to figure it out, but, like, they don't seem to know, like, actually how starting a YouTube channel and how it all works.
Here's what I think it really is I don't think that Nintendo's like, the deck shouldn't be making money without us getting a cut, because they use our gameplay footage for 5 seconds behind when they're talking. You know what I mean? I think that this is something that they're doing because, you know, Nintendo's very much about, like, putting out their product and, like, watching it flourish. Mm-hmm. And a lot of what happens that really disappoints them, like, I was just watching Did You Know Gaming about Smash Bros. And Sakurai was talking about how, like, it was such a bummer that they made all these awesome cutscenes for the Subspace Emissary, and then right when the game was out, like, all of the cutscenes were up on the internet. Mm-hmm. And so what a lot of people do on these smaller YouTube channels is that aren't, like, popular, but just more like people watch a specific couple of videos on the channel a lot, is that they'll do, like, a Let's Play of a game that just came out, like, you know, for example, Oros or Super Mario 3D World or something like that, where they'll just do the whole game without commentary and just, like, you just watch that. And then you don't have to buy the game and you don't have to play the game. And I think that that's kind of what Nintendo is responding to here. I think that, like, legally maybe they could make a claim against us, but we have a good relationship with Nintendo, and I don't think that this is really going to affect us at all.
And quite honestly, because the nice thing is that because Pokemon is not just and exclusively a Nintendo-owned franchise, but it's also, like, very much the Pokemon company and Game Freak, Pokemon has its own other set of rules and things, so it doesn't fall under that, like, umbrella of like these are the games that, like, you're not allowed to Pokemon.
I really don't know, like, what the deal is with that aspect of it, but I will say that I don't think that we're the type of channel that they have in mind. For this.
I don't think that it's going to be a situation where they're going to contact us and be like, you need to take everything down.
Yeah, we have a good relationship with Nintendo. We're directly represented by our network. I don't think there's going to be an issue.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for asking.
But if you don't know about this, you should definitely read up on it and
yeah, it might even be a thing that you want to do. I'm thinking about starting a channel and just playing Dr. Luigi all the time on it. I think that would be hilarious. Yeah, speak up.
Here.
The other thing, this is Jimmy behind the camera, hi. The other thing is that they can't, it's like almost would be impossible for them to content claim our stuff just because it's highly edited. And this targets unedited content.
Yeah, they would never, ever, ever see our footage the way we use it as game footage. Though, maybe a project that we're starting soon could be different, but I don't, it's a pretty old...
Game from, like, 1997.
Sometime that is not specific. Alright, here, you can read the next one.
Okay, great. This next question is from RSKingSam. Q&A. What do you think is missing from the Pokemon games, like an item, place, or mechanics?
Well, the easy answer for me, at least, is something to solve the, like, HM slave problem. I think that's dumb. And then the other, like, it's just like if you're gonna give us 6 party slots, like, don't make us essentially waste one of them.
By having an HM?
Or, like, putting HMs on Pokemon that I don't want to have an HM on. Like,
like, Scyther should just, like, be able to cut things down.
Or give us a tool that...
Lapras should just be able... You should just be able to survive.
Give us a tool that we can use. I would rather them not be like that. And then the other thing that I was talking about, the thing that I, like, have been wanting forever, what was it? I can't remember now.
I can't remember exactly, but I know something that you've talked about in the past that I've, like, thought about and really agree with you on. Is the possibility of maybe, like, being able to, like, switch status conditions, or, like, a couple moves that would switch status conditions. So,
go, like, from being asleep to being poisoned, or something like that?
Yeah, like, while somebody's asleep, you can poison them and then they will wake up, but they'll be poisoned now. I know that would disrupt a whole lot of the metagame. I'm not proposing, like, a way for this to work, but I do think it would be a lot better and it would be a good thing for like, maybe just a few Pokemon to, like, have a move that, like, disrupts status.
It's neat. Other things are, like, Legendaries, like, events. I would not be against paying, like, $1 or $2 to, like, get access to an old event Pokemon. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of them, you know, you don't have the opportunity to get just because, like, you're in the wrong country or something like that. But I don't know like legally how it would work with like whatever like sort of agreement they work out with like GameStop or whoever. But I'm sure there's a statute of limitation on it. And like opening up old events to get like that shiny Rayquaza from Nobunaga, what's that game called? Pokemon
The Conquest.
Pokemon Conquest or something like that. That's really cool. Or like the Tanabata Festival, Jirachi, something like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'd pay like $1 for that. If like a one-time, like you can have it once. You can't buy like a million of them, but like, you have the game, so you have access to one. Because if you were there, you'd be able to get it. And then maybe the real like exclusive ones could be like the ones that are at like Pokemon events. And then maybe you could never get that one because it's like a special timed thing. But like some of them should be available.
Well, I like the way that they're releasing those hidden ability starters right now, which is like the way that they're just like, you can just get it as long as you have the code, and the code is like you can just get the code pretty much from anyone, and they're just available from like now until the end of November.
I'm trying to remember what the thing was that I was like all in favor of and that you guys were like, no. Typing.
Advantages on moves.
Oh. What?
Where you would select the move and it would show those.
Oh, right. That's the thing that I want is so that people learn how to battle better.
Oh, is having like
having it be like when you're in your battle screen, you can see like this move is 4 times effective against them, or this move is not going to be effective against them. I think that's great. I think that I understand like maybe wanting to like remove that from the actual gameplay of like the story experience, but
maybe it can be an option that you can turn on, but I really wouldn't want that like in normal play.
But regardless, I certainly think that it's something that could be in the game that would be cool. Just like if you're a kid who's never played Pokemon and you want to like learn, it's like a big the trainer school is not enough. It's like very boring way to learn, and I think that like just making it part of the game, you would just eventually like. After a while, you would be like, oh yeah, electric's like strong against water, because you like things you forget are like, do you know that flying is not very effective against electric types?
Yes, but that's because if you like lightning bolt a bird, it's gone. But like somebody asked a question.
I'm saying if a bird attacks Pikachu, it's not very effective.
Okay.
Did you know that?
It makes sense to me.
Right, but like, did you know that that's a thing until just now?
Like maybe not like specifically.
Right, like you forget it like sometimes, but like you probably wouldn't as much if you had like a thing built into the game that was like, this is going to be super effective, or like like people always forget that fairy type doesn't work against fire very well, for example. Like stuff like that. I don't know. It just seems like it makes sense to me. I don't know. Anything else you want to add?
Not too much. I think we kind of did that one pretty good.
This one is from Latios9876. Alex and Kellz, I have a question. I love playing a Mii to see their expressions, but my question is, what's your favorite legendary and or mythical Pokemon? I find it awesome to see it possible to befriend such a powerful beast. Anyways, love your show and keep up the good work. Latios? That's... Latios and Latios are like some of my favorites for sure.
They are pretty cool. I love Latias.
I also really like Mew. I really like Celebi.
Mew is probably my favorite one.
Mew?
Yeah, I know it's like cliche, maybe. I don't care. It's so cute.
Yeah, I like Xerneas
it's so
a lot.
Cute. It's so like happy. It's so like wise. I think it's like my favorite legendary for sure.
I like Xerneas a lot. I like Gen 5 was a little weak for me. Not like super good. I like Zekrom. He's pretty cool. Gen 4, like every single legendary is so tight in that game. Dang.
Just the lore behind them is too.
It's like
too
it's too sick. Too cool. Like they're like the actual gods of Pokemon.
They're pretty cool.
It's tight. Gen 3 has some great ones. Rayquaza is unbelievable.
Zapdos is like.
Yeah.
Lugia.
Yeah. Rayquaza is super tight. I always feel like
I've always liked Kyogre.
I always feel like I like don't like the legendaries, and then I think about it and I'm like, oh yeah, I do. I don't know. I like them all. I don't know. That's a lame answer, but
my favorites are Shaman Sky, Mew, and Lugia or Zapdos.
Okay, I'll say Latios.
I love the really cute ones.
Yeah, I'll say Latios. I'll say Rayquaza, and I'll say Celebi. But like really close Mewtwo is in there, and like the Gen 4 is all is one. It's also tight. I like them as a like pantheon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But
I just like to imagine them all like living in the same area.
And you can read that one.
Okay. Next question comes from Yuhineko, and they ask, "Hey guys, quick question for you. Watching Wallace was one of the highlights of last video. Do you have any other pets, or did you have other pets before you got Wallace?"
I have another pet in my house who doesn't belong to me that much.
Pretty much though.
Yeah. I like. I used to be like very much a freelancer, and so I'd be home all the time. So my roommate's cat, whose name is Derek, after my roommate, who is also named Derek and is my cousin. He's a cat. He's the best cat I've ever known.
He's really sweet. He's a nice cat.
He's really cute. You know, I don't think he'll ever be on here unless we shoot something from my house.
No, he'd be really scared if
he just doesn't. He just does. He's just an inside the house cat.
Yeah.
And he, you know, he since a baby.
Wallace isn't here today because I have somewhere to go
Yeah.
tonight that I can't bring him to.
Yeah.
So.
But you had you have another dog, kind of.
I've had so many pets, guys.
Yeah.
If you want me to, I can list through all of them right now.
Do it like quick.
Okay, all right. I had Princess, who was a box turtle. I had Cheeky and Scribbles, who were parakeets. These are like when I was young, so most of them are not alive right now. I had Monty, who was a garter snake. I had Kovu, who was a ball python. I had a dog named Riley, who was an amazing dog, my first dog ever.
Big dog.
Big dog. He was a border collie mix. And then I had at my old house, my sister's dog is a corgi named Oberon. And before you go, oh, corgi, he's a jerk.
He's a jerk, but that like kind of makes him even funnier.
And now I have Wallace, and I just love Wallace.
Yeah,
he's
great.
like my greatest little friend.
Really a great little Pokemon buddy.
And then every once in a while, I would like bring home like little animals. I've had some fish, but like I don't do well with fish. I'm really good with animals, but something about fish I just can't. Like I've tried really hard to keep them alive, and I do really badly. So I'm probably not gonna try fish again.
I had a bird named Sunny once when I was a really young kid, and he died on Christmas Eve, which was rough. And then my bird from like my childhood that came after Sunny is still alive and lives at my mom's house and has been alive for.
What's his name?
Bird.
His name is Bird.
Bird. Yeah,
Oh,
we never
fun.
really named it. It's just like this weird white bird that is kind of.
It's a pretty bird.
He's kind of. I think he might be like mentally not.
He's
correct.
old as.
No, but
heck.
he's always been kind of weird. Because he got stepped on when he was really small.
Aw.
And so his tail feathers are weird. Okay, last question.
And Bilo.
Oh, Bilo the cat. That's my brother's cat. He's also a great cat, but he's kind of a fussy cat too. This is from the Swordsman 100. This is the last question. Hi, Alex and Kellz. Sorry if I spelled that wrong. You didn't. I have a question. On sites like Bulbapedia and TV Tropes, they say that the Togekiss and Gardevoir lines are based on angels. However, on episodes of the Dex, no mention of this made at all on the lines' respective episodes. I think it might be possible since the behavior of the lines, Gardevoir in particular, matches, and both have been reclassified to the Fairy type, which can be seen as a light type. But what is your opinion on the matter?
I have an opinion on the matter. A pretty like strong opinion on the matter. Actually.
I just don't see it.
Here's my thing.
Especially with the Gardevoir and like line, I just don't see it.
My opinion on this is that, I mean, having done a ton of research, Bulbapedia is like such a great resource. First of all, like a wonderful resource. But there's sometimes where like I will read something on there and be like, I don't know if I agree with that. And like with Gardevoir and Togekiss, like I get like, you know, possibly like the guardian angel Gardevoir, but like she doesn't. I mean, aside from like having like a white dress on, she doesn't look like an angel really at all. And then Togekiss, I mean, is a white bird, but like you could easily say it's like the dove of peace as well as you could say it's an angel. So I really don't think that.
Or a B2 bomber.
So I really don't think that like I mean I think that there has to be like a certain level of like a deeper design, a deeper like.
It just doesn't feel right.
Correlation does not equal causation.
Yeah.
Right? So,
Yeah.
like, for example, like, Alex is wearing a plaid shirt, and he's got a beard, and he's kind of a burly guy,
I'm not
but
a
he's
lumberjack.
not a lumberjack.
Yeah.
Like, so, like, you know, same to the fact that Togekiss is white, it has beautiful wings, and has, like, serene grace, but, like, it doesn't necessarily need to
Yeah.
be an
And
angel.
fairies aren't the same as angelic creatures either,
Right.
like necessarily. So I see like where it's coming from. I just don't feel that it's necessarily correct.
And it certainly could be possible.
And
even,
that's
like,
and that's
why
something
not?
that you can learn about research like in today as well. Is just like, believe me, I do a lot of research in my life. I write for Game Theory. It's a big job. But like the thing that you'll learn is that like a lot of the times on the especially like crowdsourced resources, and this is something you hear all the time, but like especially like video game ones because they're not even nearly as well like policed as something like Wikipedia, which is like very, very heavily policed. And even then, like crazy stuff happens. Something like Bulbapedia, I love Bulbapedia. I think it's one of my most commonly visited sites. I visit it all the time. And
They're great.
You
Some
should
of the-
too.
some of the admins
the
on there,
forums,
like,
the
we've talked to,
forums are
and
good.
wonderful.
The forums are great. But like for example, something like this, like somebody someday writes down, Togekiss is an angel. All right, that's in the trivia section. Somebody else is going to go look at that page. They're going to see, oh, there's already trivia there. I'm not even going to bother thinking about it. and then the thing spreads to TV tropes, which maybe even looked to Bulbapedia for reference. You never know, and like for me, like I just don't feel that it's well fleshed out. Like if you watch those Dex episodes, like admittedly the Togekiss one is more of like a stretch, but I think that they think about that stuff. I think they think about like the big picture of Pokemon. They say it takes 6 months to design one.
Longer even.
And if you're looking at something like Togekiss, that does not scream angel to me. You know what I mean? It looks much more like an airplane.
I mean, Togetic looks more like an angel.
It doesn't even look. It looks like a Dr. Seuss creature. It doesn't look like an angel. Like you're not like that's one of the angels from heaven when you look at it. The same thing with Gardevoir and Gallade and stuff. I think that our analysis of those Pokemon is much more. I'm not going to say one or the other is correct, but I will say that it seems like ours is a little bit more fleshed out, and there's a little bit more evidence to it, especially having to do with the heart chest thing. And they don't even necessarily. It doesn't necessarily mean they're mutually exclusive.
A lot of the times, these Pokemon, like the creators themselves, are the only ones that can be like, yes, this is definitively what this is based off of. Sometimes it's easier than others to like decide what they are, but like mostly all our interpretations and Bulbapedia's interpretations are what is probably true, and so it's definitely open up for interpretation.
Yeah, and that's the other thing that I'll say. If you're watching our episodes and you feel angry and you want to write like that we didn't do our research properly or that you did something wrong, like make sure that you're not just doing that too, that you're not just reading something that's like, this is where the answer is because I know this is where that I find the answers and I'm just gonna like follow it. You know what I mean? Give me like, I'd rather if you say something like that, give me your research, because that's what I want to know. But that's it for this week. Come back next week. I don't think we're gonna take a break with this again. There's gonna be another mystery next week. We're gonna do all this stuff again. Leave your answers to Q&A down below. I'm Alex.
And I'm Kellz.
And we'll see you next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.